What's up, guys? I'm Tim. This is NuKraft Workshop. Well, as always with these videos, this is Mrs. NuKraft's Workshop, but I've got a list today for you guys of a bunch of stuff that is on sale right now at Amazon's pre-Black Friday week. Everything I'm going to show you today is going to be limited time deals. Most of them are going to be a day or two. Some of these are going to run a week, but I would grab this stuff while it's on sale. So let's get right into this video. First thing I want to show you right here, this is my NuKraft Workshop Amazon storefront. Bookmark this thing. I update this regularly. I've got some sections down here, some lists for beginners stuff, some of my favorite stuff, cabinet building, drawer slides, hinges, jigs, etc. Bookmark this page. You're going to enjoy finding some steals and deals all the time here on my storefront. But let's get right into this video. So I'm going to show you a ton of items today, give you links down in the description, and then we're going to wrap it up. We're going to start with clamps. WORKPRO. This right here is what I try to do with all of the items you're going to see today. Is I try to give you stuff that is highly rated with a lot of ratings. I try to avoid the things that are 5.0 stars with 2 ratings because that's probably the guy who put the product online and his buddy. So we're going to try to avoid that. But you're going to get 6-inch clamps, 4 of those. 12-inch clamps, you're going to get 2 of those for $32. Great price. You're going to struggle to find this kind of deal over even at Harbor Freight. And these things are highly rated. $32.99, 20% off their even already low price on this set. Black Friday specials. I don't know, again, how long these are going to run, so I would eat all of this stuff up we're talking about as soon as you possibly can. So let's keep this moving. Jorgensen. You know I love Jorgensen clamps. This is a great deal right here. $31 for 4 6-inch F clamps. Normal price on this thing is like $37, so we're down $8, 15% off, excuse me. We're down about $6 in cost, and this puts this set cheaper than Lowe's, which is normally cheaper on Jorgensen clamps. Good price, Jorgensen quality. If you prefer IRWIN, they've got their 6-inch trigger clamps on sale today, 62% off. They're down to $10 a piece. Now, I have not gone through here and looked at some of the other ones. Let's take a look together. 12-inch is not on Black Friday. 18-inch, same thing, not on Black Friday. But if 6 inches something you're looking for and you're an IRWIN guy, $9.99. Good clamps, 4.7 stars, almost 3,000 ratings. IRWIN makes good product. So here's a generic Amazon brand spring clamps, but you cannot have enough of these spring clamps, and this is an absolute steal right here. $19 is going to get you 20 different clamps. You're going to get 6-inch, 4-inch, 3-inch, nice spring, and again 4.5 stars, almost 3,000 ratings. $19. Great product, great deal. All right, we've actually talked about these before, and the reason they made this list is because they are 37% off, $43. These are $10 a clamp. These are heavy duty. They're metal. They're self-adjusting. Each side of this clamp moves independently, so when you're tightening them down, you can use 2 different size materials in this. We've talked about this before. Again, 4.5 stars, 3,100 ratings. These are absolutely awesome tools, and I love these. I use these at my shop all the time, and I know you guys are going to like these a lot. All right, we've talked about these before as well. I've actually shown you guys these hands-on in one of my previous videos, and this is the lowest price they've had on this in quite some time. $30. These are all aluminum, super precise. I've measured these up against some of my engineering squares, and they are spot on 90 degrees. Come in this nice little carrying case, lock your material in place, allowing you to tack it or screw it together. Watch the video on this when you get over to, when you click on this link, there's a video right here you can watch on how they work. But these things are absolutely a great tool to have out in your shop, and 25% off, bringing them down to $30 today. BESSEY. I don't push BESSEY a lot. I don't have BESSEY out in my shop, but I know a lot of you guys like BESSEY. They've got their F clamps today on sale, 20% off, $17.60. This puts them lower than anybody else you're going to find that sells BESSEY. Home Depot sells BESSEY. Jorgensen you're going to find over at Lowe's. You'll find BESSEY at places like Woodcraft, of course, and you're going to pay a whole lot more than that. But $17.50 for some F-style clamps. Good deal. Great product. All right, We've looked at this before, but check this price out. So this is an Amana Countersink knockoff. This brand right here, Decker Cat or whatever they are, I've got a couple of their countersink sets and they are wonderful. Multiple size bits. The bit is adjustable as far as the depth. The countersink is adjustable, and it comes with this nylon rotating piece here that's going to, number one, stop your bit when it gets to depth, and number two, it's going to give you something that spins and rotates freely so you don't burn up your wood. If this didn't move, you'd get some burn mark. But this is a great little thing, and check this out, $9.99. It usually is around 15 bucks, and you guys ate it up at that time. $9, excuse me, $10 today on Black Friday. If you're more of the traditional guy, this 5-piece set, it's got everything you could need in it from your traditional 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. It's got 5 different pieces, quick connect, so this is going to pop into your impact if you prefer using your impact, which, if I'm being honest with you, I use that a lot more than my actual drill. 20% off, down to $12 today. 5-piece set, comes in a carrying case. This is a good set to have around the shop as well. Now, this is one that you guys have asked me about every time you see this particular tool on my video. Hang on just a second, because yeah, it's early in the morning, man. I'm up here doing this for you guys early in the morning. I gotta get some coffee going. But Sacred Woodworking, this right here is one of my favorite new tools. It's got positive stop for all of your common angles, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75. It'll click into place, then you lock down the knob. One side has metric, one side has imperial, and as you can see, it goes up to 14 inches for your measurement. But the benefit of this thing is how precise it is. I've measured this up against some of my other precision tools, and it is spot on. And it comes with this little insert right here that allows you to drop the included pencil down in this insert, and you can use it to scribe a line across your material. But this thing is always a great deal because it's a really good tool. If you don't have anything by Sacred, you're going to love what they give you. But $22.79. The cheapest I've seen it is $26.99. That's what I paid for mine. $22.79 on Black Friday. Grab this before this price goes back up. All right. Miter gauge. I just got the GoingMake miter gauge, and I absolutely love my GoingMake gauge, but it's a little pricey, and this is a very economical solution. Now, this VEVOR gauge, I don't know if you've seen any reviews online with this, but this gauge is highly rated, and even here on Amazon, it's 4.6 stars, 410 reviews. It's highly rated, and for this price point, this is going to be far superior than the, I can't think of the name brand of the gauge that's over at Harbor Freight. Bauer, I think, is who makes it. $53 is going to get you a entry-level price, but a really high-quality miter gauge. So if you're in the market for one, give VEVOR a shot. Now in a little bit, I'll show you the GoingMake one that I just got out of my shop. It's also on Black Friday today, and if you're in the market for a really good gauge, we'll talk about that one coming up. All right, double-sided tape. I push X-Fasten a lot because of the cost. X-Fasten, you get 3 1-inch rolls, 108 feet for a total of 324 for around 20 bucks, which is about half what you're going to pay at some of the other stores for the same exact tape. But check this out. This is 120 feet per roll, 360 feet for $17.50. 50% off. And then check this out. We're going to click this coupon. You're going to save another $8.75. So you cannot beat this deal right here. I don't know anything about this particular brand because I use X-Fasten out in my shop, but check this out. 4.5 stars, 150 reviews. Clearly it's a good product. Double-sided tape pretty much is double-sided tape. It probably all comes out of the same factory. They slap a different name brand on the top right here, and they charge different pricing. But $17.50, 50% off. Get some double-sided tape on sale. Tack cloths, something you don't think about a lot out in your shop, but I use a ton of tack cloths. 12 pieces, tack cloth, $12.74. That's $1 a cloth. You can't beat that if you're going and picking these things at retail like Home Depot, Lowe's. You can't get this stuff for $1. This is a great price. 4.5 stars, highly rated. All right, woodworking vise. This is one of those things that is definitely a specialty item that not everybody's going to pop up on their bench. But if you are in the market, this is a good deal. Wilton makes good vices. This has a 10-inch opening, and it is extremely heavy duty. 20% off, highly rated, 4.5 stars. And if you're in the market for a vise, this is one I would definitely consider bolting to the bottom of that workbench. All right, routers. If you do not have a router, buy a router. You're going to love having a router out in your shop. This is a great way to get started with an entry-level price, but have a good quality name brand tool. $90, 36% off for a BOSCH, 4.7 stars, 3,000 plus ratings. Can't beat BOSCH. If you know anything about them, they make really good tools. I use the, I think it's a 1617. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. That's what's in my router table. But BOSCH makes good product, and this is a way to get into having a router out in your shop without spending a ton of money. All right, sticking to power tools, this Metabo, however you pronounce it, 30% off, little 10-inch miter saw. If you do not have a miter saw out in your shop and you've been wanting one, $119. Metabo makes great products. I love everything that I have from them, and 4.6 stars, 12,000 global reviews. I mean, this thing is a really good quality tool, and right now it's 30% off pre-Black Friday sale going on this week. All right, Bora. I know a lot of you guys don't like Bora as far as a lot of their tools, but things like this right here, this is absolutely a great steal. I have this exact rack out in my shop right now. I actually put my two out side by side instead of above each other because of space constraints, but $40. This thing is 18% off. This is going to hold, I think it's 400 pounds per rack. Oh, here we go. 600 pounds. I mean, you're never going to put 600 pounds of lumber up on this, and this is a great way to store your material up out off the floor. And $40, 20% off, great price on a really cool way to store your material. All right, I just got this right here. Jorgensen actually sent me this, and I just did an unboxing and assembly and review video. I haven't posted it yet, but I just got this up, and I will tell you that this is an awesome thing to have around your shop if you're like me and you're in a very limited space. This is heavy duty. I love the way it holds clamps, the way that we can pop our traditional clamps on there. It also has these little stops on the side that are going to allow us to use this to hold our material in while we're doing some sanding or planing or whatever. It's got these extension legs, and you see they got marks on them, so you can make sure that all four of your legs are the same so that your tabletop is level. And right now this is 16% off, $140, 4.8 stars. This is one of the higher rated tools I'm going to show you guys today. 1,300 reviews, 4.8 stars. I'm telling you, and it's worth every star. I gave it 5.0 when I rated it because it really is. It's a great little tool, and if you have a space constraints, $140 gives you an extra area. It also holds bench dogs if you would prefer to go that route. This is a great little workbench, and it folds up, hangs on the wall when you're done. All right, I usually don't recommend kits, but check this thing out. DeWalt Woodworkers Kit, $330, 26% off the normal price, $330. You're getting the router, you're getting the jigsaw, the palm sander, charger, 2 batteries, carrying case. If you buy all this stuff separately, you're at about $500 plus, depending on where you shop for it. $330 gets you everything you need, and then you have not just 1 but 2 batteries and a charger to get your DeWalt collection started. So again, I usually don't recommend kits because you'll get a kit with like 7 tools and 3 of them you'll never use. But this right here, this is their Woodworkers Kit. This is a steal. Pocket hole jigs. I know a lot of my subscribers ask all the time about pocket hole jigs, pocket hole joinery. What do they buy? What do they... Look, VEVOR, not the best product manufacturer in the world, but some of their stuff is really good quality, and a pocket hole jig is the way to go with VEVOR. 43 bucks. Going to get you into pocket hole joinery. This is all metal. This is a kind of knockoff of the old Craig that I had prior to getting my 720. Craig makes theirs. It's plastic, and you know it is what it is. But VEVOR decided they were going to make theirs out of aluminum. This comes with all kinds of stuff. It's going to come with two bits. It's going to come with some screws, stops. It's even going to come with a face clamp. So if you're just getting into pocket hole joinery, this is the way to do it. 43 bucks on Black Friday, 17% off. All right, MilesCraft Grabber. This is kind of like the gripper knockoff from MilesCraft. 30 bucks. It's normally 40, 25% off. This does exactly what the gripper does. MilesCraft versions of everything are always going to be cheap. And again, look at this. 4.7 stars, 1,700 global ratings. I mean, this thing is a really good product, and there are certain things out in my shop. Why would I spend literally twice this price to get a name brand when you can get the MilesCraft that does exactly what it's supposed to do for this kind of price? 30 bucks. Another good deal today. T-Track. If you buy T-Track, like T-Track, want T-Track, 40 bucks, 6 pieces, 4 foot each. You're getting 24 feet of T-Track, 40 bucks. This is an absolutely unbelievable price. It's normally $50. It's 20% off. $40 for 6 pieces. I promise you will not beat that deal anywhere for 48-inch long. And if you're not familiar with T-Track, when you go to install it, you absolutely can cut this with your miter saw. Just make sure you're using a carbide tipped blade. Take your time, plunge slowly through this, and you can cut this with your standard miter saw and get your T-Track installed. But it's anodized blue, just like the Rockler is going to be. It comes with all the screws, and this is a great price on some T-Track. Digital angle finder. Now, the reason this made the list is because of the price. $14. I use one by Wixie, which is more of a name brand, but for what I paid for it compared to this is a great deal. 4.5 stars. 165 ratings. Again, I try not to give you guys anything with less than 50 or 60 ratings. This has 166 ratings and it's 4.5, so clearly it does what it's supposed to do. $14.44. This is a good price. All right, PowerTech dust collection. I just picked a random fitting right here, this elbow. All of their dust collection is on Black Friday sale. Some of it's 15%, some of it's 20%, some of it's 10%. But PowerTech, look at this, 4.8 stars. All of their dust collection stuff is just as good as anything else you're going to find. Their connectors are phenomenal. Their clamps are phenomenal. I mean, their strapping to hold it on. It all works and does exactly what it's supposed to do. All of my dust collection out in my shop, all of my hoses, fittings, couplers, all that, they're all PowerTech. You're going to save a ton of money outfitting your shop with stuff like this when you can avoid name brand and save money on items that aren't truly going to affect you when it comes to precision and performance. Save it. And PowerTech dust collection is absolutely, positively, highly recommended from NuKraft Workshop. All right, we're going to hit some GoingMake stuff now. Now, GoingMake, you'll notice this is $5 more than the VEVOR I showed you a minute ago. And I just kind of lumped all my GoingMake together today in this video. Sorry, man, it's still early. But GoingMake, all of their products, phenomenal tools. And this is one of those brands that as they stick around and more people find out about GoingMake and purchase GoingMake, their prices are going to go up. This particular jig is very similar to the VEVOR. It comes with a couple bits, couple drivers. It comes with this removable piece here that you can take over and use this as handheld. This also has a dust collection adapter, which I don't know if the VEVOR did or not, but GoingMake is extremely good quality tools. This thing is 30% off, bringing it down to $50. I promise if you buy anything by GoingMake, you'll understand why there's a ton of people on YouTube, myself included, reviewing their products because they're making some really good high quality stuff. So sticking with them, if you do a lot of cabinetry, their jig right here blows anything else away on the market. It's Connected on the bottom with this toggle clamp, which is completely unique to GoingMake. Everybody else, you kind of have to clamp in place. I have the Craig, the plastic one, because I don't do a lot of cabinetry, and the Craig did its job. But this GoingMake is all aluminum construction. Again, it's held in place with its own included toggle clamp, and 30% off again. This thing is 4.7 stars out of 450 reviews. So GoingMake tools, I think Flynn Dog on YouTube, if you've ever had a chance, he's got an entire video. I think he bought every GoingMake tool and did a review on it, and props to him, because that's what got me into GoingMake, and he nailed it. They're really good products. But this jig, 28% off. This one right here, I've actually showed you guys this one before, and at the time it was full price, $59.99. It's $40 today. If you do not have a table saw out in your shop and you use your track saw to cut your sheet goods down to size, whether it's a 90-degree cut or an angled cut, you need a way to make sure that thing is precise. And this right here fits on almost every single manufacturer's track saw. Clips to the side of it, allows you to make sure that you are getting that precise 90-degree perpendicular cut, or anything from 15 to 60. It does. I'm trying to read this as we go here. So we got 15, 22.5, 30, 45, 60, and 90 positive stops. It locks into place and assures that your circular saw or track saw running across a straight edge or your track guide is going to give you a perfect cut on your sheet goods. 30% off, $41. Great product. Seriously, GoingMake is awesome. Now, this is going to be another product for your track saw, and this is going to allow you to make sure that your cuts are absolutely parallel with each other. And if you're making any kind of cabinetry, even if it's drawer faces, doors, etc., you know you need that precision cut across the length of your sheet good. You don't want one end being even a quarter of an inch off, and this is a way to assure that it happens. Now, this only has 60 ratings because it is one of their newer products, but I can assure you right now, GoingMake makes wonderful tools. And if you are in the market for something like this and you don't want to break down and buy a table saw, but you want precision cuts across your sheet goods, 27% off, $189. This is a good product. This is my favorite product that I have out in my shop right now. Not just by GoingMake, but it's one of my favorite products that I have at all. Is this little thin rip jig. Now, most of the time, this thing is around $32. It ranges from like $28 to $32 most of the time, but 37% off, it's $25 today. This thing is awesome. If you make any kind of thin strips for anything, we build a lot of like crates, so we always want some 1/4 inch thick material, and instead of going to the store and buying them, I just rip down 2x4s into slats. This is the safest way to make strips out in your shop, and there's a ton of people out there making this. Look, Woodpeckers makes a thin rip jig. If you want to spend like $150 to do the same exact thing, this GoingMake is great. The ball bearing at the front right here is it's a one-way bearing, so it's going to help prevent kickback. It's got metric and imperial measurements. Locks into the slot on your table saw and allows you to safely cut some thin rips. Again, this is one of my absolute favorite tools out in my shop, and you can pick it up today for $25. All right, their Doweling jig, normally $100, it's 20% off. It's $80 today. You want to talk about adjustability and precision. So this particular unit, I would put up there with companies like Jessam, Jessam makes good product. They make really high quality, very precise stuff. But if you start looking into the details of this Doweling jig, this is going to have all kinds of adjustments, all kinds of positive stops. I mean, look right there at all of the positive stops we've got. They're every 1/8 of an inch. We've got positive stops. It comes with all of your inserts for your most common size dowels. It's going to come with your bits, your stop collars, and it has the ability to cut on your edge and your surface of your material, ensuring that your dowels are precisely lined. And 20% off, $80. This thing is about half the price what you're going to pay for the Jessam. All right, Sticking with GoingMake, this is the miter gauge. This is the one I just got. Now, I will tell you, I did not pay $215.99 because I didn't pay for it. It was a gift. But I know for a fact that this is the lowest price that it has been. $215. This thing is absolutely a very precise tool. So we've got our positive stops at all of our common angles, 15, 22 and a half, 30, 45, 60, and of course 90. We've also got up top our adjustment, which is a micrometer adjustment, meaning that if we need to move our stop over 1/1000th of an inch for some reason, if you're making something that precise out in your shop, you have the ability to do so. This thing slides out to 36-inch capacity, so you can make repetitive cuts up to 36 inches, and I will tell you right now, it is 100% spot on accurate. I had to do very little adjustments right out of the box on mine, and the fact that this thing is 30% off, it's down to $215. If you want a good quality miter gauge, you can take this one to the bank. I can assure you right now that this particular gauge right here is the way to go. All right, router bits. I usually push Freud, and if you go to my storefront, you'll see in the first section of my storefront, the 13-piece Freud router bit set is still in there. I did not include it on today's video because it's not technically on Black Friday sale, but it's literally 50% cheaper on Amazon than it is Woodcraft. So if you want some good half-inch Shank Freud bits, check out my storefront, click on that first little grouping there and you'll find it. But today we're talking Black Friday sales, and BOSCH is on sale today, and BOSCH makes great bits. These are 1/4-inch Shank. I would use these probably exclusively in my little palm router around the workbench, but this is one of those things where I usually don't recommend sets because you're going to get a lot of stuff you don't use. But looking through the stuff that's in here, I think almost everything in here would get used. You've got 2 different chamfers, a couple roundovers, an OG, a cove, a couple flush cuts, a rabbiting, 2 rabbiting bits, I believe. So I think everything in this kit would get used, and the fact that it's $68 for 15 bits, this is a great price on some BOSCH bits. BOSCH makes good stuff. Sticking with them, let's look at, well, let's don't, because I guess I cleared it for some reason, but they also have a 1/2-inch Shank set also today on Black Friday special. Sorry, I cleared that out of there. Right, look, it's early, man, and I'm still drinking my coffee. I'm trying to get this done. All right, Mitriapel, or however you say it. I think it's Mitriapel. I have been pushing this glue for a long time because it is really, really good glue. 4.6 stars, 4,000 reviews. This 2-pack today is on Black Friday. You're getting 2 1.7 ounce glues, 2 6.7 ounce activators. If you were to buy that kind of quantity when it comes to the glue and activator anywhere, Rockler, Acme Tools, Woodcraft, sorry, I'm drawing a blank, man. If you was to buy this anywhere, you're going to spend about $45 to $50 to get that much glue. This is $15 today. It's 40% off, and it works. The glue is phenomenal. Hit it with your activator and it creates the bond that it's supposed to. This is just like any other CA glue. If I'm being honest with you, I've tried Star Bond, I've tried some other brands. It's CA glue and it works. $15 for this kit right here. 40% off. Grab it. All right, sticking with glue. Tide Bond. So we've talked about glue here before. For some reason, Tide Bond 3 is cheaper on Amazon, but Tide Bond 1 and 2 is almost always cheaper at Lowe's for some reason, except for this. If you like these little squirt bottles, like I know a lot of you do, I don't usually use them. I buy by the gallon, but this is a great price. Look at this, 70% off, $2.69 for these 4-ounce bottles. I mean, even if you bought 10 of these, you're still saving some money, and you've got all these little extra bottles laying around. But if you use Tide Bond Original, I saw this and figured I'd show this to you guys right now. $2.69, the lowest price I've ever seen these little 4-ounce bottles. All right, deck screws. I used to push Line Max a lot on you guys, and then I found another brand that was even cheaper. But this today on Black Friday, look at this right here. Hopefully this shows up. 2 cents a screw. It's literally half the price that you're going to pay for anybody else. Everybody else is 4 cents a screw. $21 is going to get you a 5-pound box, which is right at 900 screws. I mean, this is crazy. These deck screws right here, I know they're labeled deck screws, but they're basically just epoxy coated tan screws. We use these for almost all of our outdoor crafting projects, our bird feeders, our squirrel feeders, anything that we put outside, we use those for. 21 bucks, 2 cents a screw. If you're like me and you go through, let's just say 10,000 screws a year, you're going to save like $200-300 by buying this versus going to the big box store and paying for something that you shouldn't be paying for, which is a name brand on a box. All right, sticking with screws, pocket hole screws. This exact box of pocket hole screws I have shown you guys multiple times. This price can't be beat. You can't beat it with Craig. You can't beat it with Miles Craft. You can't beat it with anybody. And today it's even cheaper. These things are normally, I think the last time I showed them to you, they were like 17 or 18 bucks. They're $15.94 today. 600 pieces, $15, pocket hole screws. This is, and the quality control on these, I can assure you I use these out in my shop. They are just as good as anything else I've ever bought from a pocket hole joinery. All right, everybody asks, where'd you get that pencil? Right here, this is where I got my pencils. The pencils that I never have handy when I'm out in my shop working, but look at this, $9 today. You're getting 2 of the standard pencils. You're getting 2 of these mechanical small nibs. The way that these are designed, you're going to be able to get these deep into your holes that you've bored out or whatever, because they are such a small diameter on the nibs. But you're also going to get yellow, red, and standard color lead refills. The yellow is absolutely great when you're marking up your walnut or anything dark. $9.50. This was normally 13 bucks. It's less than $10 today. This is a really good pencil. I use these exclusively out in my shop, and they come with a built-in sharpener, so you can keep that nice little tip on there. But yeah, I'd grab these real quick. All right, I just threw this in because it's such a good price, 22% off. If you do not have a table saw out in your shop and you're looking to get into, I started with a contractor's portable, like a job site. Mine was made by Rigid, and I used that before I upgraded to my current saw. This is a very highly rated portable contractor saw, and it's going to do everything you probably would ever need it to do as someone who's just now getting into the table saw portion of their shop. But this is a great price, $349, 22% off. Again, I don't know these Black Friday sales. I don't know how long they're going to last, but if you're in the market, DeWalt makes good stuff, and this particular saw is one of the highest rated job site saws on the market. And don't let the term job site throw you off. This thing can be mounted on your workbench and function as a fully functional shop table saw. It's a good product. All right, we've talked about these before. These are setup blocks. We use these for our router table and our table saw. So one side of this is going to have a cutout to where you can adjust the height of your router bit blade. I mean, your router bit or your table saw blade. Sorry about that. And the other side, the little piece sticking out of the top, you can use that to gauge your depth once you've cut your dado or your rabbet. Come in this nice little carrying case. I've pushed these on you guys before. I mean, look, it's normally 35 bucks. Today they're $24. Now, there's about 10 different brands online that sell this exact set of blocks. And we all know that Amazon is full of knockoffs, Chinese brand knockoffs that, you know, they probably all come out of the same factory again, like I told you earlier. But yeah, this particular brand, $24. That's why I popped them up. There's another brand that I bought that I'll tell you they're extremely precise. I've put them up against my digital calipers, and if it says 3/4 on the block, it's 3/4 spot on. $24, 30% off. If you are in the market for something like this, this is a deal you can't beat right here. All right, I use a lot of pallet wood out in my shop, and I break my pallets down a little different. I actually leave the nails in and I use my reciprocating saw to cut the face of the pallet apart from the framing. But if you prefer to pop it with something like this, check this price out. 43 bucks for a 48-inch handled pallet buster. This thing is durable. I read somewhere down here, I think it's 1,200 pounds of force that this can hold. And if you break down a ton of pallets and you don't want to break them down with your reciprocating saw like I do and leave the nails in there, and if you're going to do that, you just have to be real careful when you're cutting that material. But I like leaving the nails in. It kind of gives it a better look. But 43 bucks, 15% off, Pallet Buster Original. All right, this is for you guys right here that always say, well, why do you compare the prices to Rockler? Of course, Amazon's going to be cheaper. Well, that's what I'm trying to show you guys is savings out in your shop. But we're going to end on some Rockler items because, well, I like Rockler product. I just don't like Rockler pricing, man. So the reason this is here, as you can see right here, it is not labeled Black Friday, but these bench cookies are awesome, number one. Number two, they're cheaper than buying them on Rockler's own website. And Rockler doesn't give you free shipping unless you spend X amount of dollars. But you're going to save like $2 for picking these bench cookies up on Amazon. And I love these bench cookies. These are awesome. Two more items from Rockler and we can wrap this up. Silicone mat. If you don't like getting glue on your workbench and having to clean it up, silicone mats are the way to go. This Rockler made my list today because check this out. It's 33% off. This is their extra large one. This thing is 2 foot by 2.5 foot. And once your glue dries, you just pick it off. It works really, really nice. 40 bucks. This is cheaper than you're going to find it at Rockler's own website. Last item. More Rockler stuff. Check this out. Their glue system set up. Okay, glue bottle. It's got tons of applicators, cleaning brush, little silicone bucket for you to pop your glue in if you want to do that. 50% off. So that's why this made the list. I love Rockler products, man. I really do. As a matter of fact, I am a Rockler affiliate. I just don't push a lot of their stuff because buying from Rockler directly is not always super cheap. And I'm trying to save you guys some money with these videos. But $9.99, 50% off. You can't beat it. Listen, next week, I'm going to pop up 2 of these videos because early in the week, Monday or so, Tuesday, I'll pop up another round of the pre-Black Friday stuffs. And then I'm prepping a video for Friday. Some of the things coming Friday on Black Friday, absolutely insane. I will not duplicate anything, though. I'm not going to recommend something for you today that I turn around and recommend on Black Friday that's cheaper. I wouldn't do that to you guys. Hope you know that by now. I'm doing my absolute best here to honestly save you guys some money on some good quality products out in your shop. So that's all I got for you on this one. Buy this stuff because who knows when it's going to go away. But that's all I got for you on this one. As always, I appreciate you spending a little bit of your time with me here at NuKraft Workshop. Have a good morning. We'll catch you guys on YouTube.